Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Alfred here. Today I am joined by a good friend of mine, Tej Singh, Mr. Famous TED Talks. If anybody doesn't know who you are, just a quick intro about yourself.
I am a property investor, podcaster, author, 2 times author, and public speaker. And I raise a bit of finance, which we may get to at some point.
Yeah. So just kind of an update, like where are you at with your journey? What's going on with you at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm kind of in an interesting place. So it's a good time to talk about this because I've got my portfolio, which is 12 buy-to-lets, BRRs, left in almost nothing by now because it's been a year or so.
Yeah.
They're chilling. They're bringing in money. They're fairly passive,
passive.
which is something we can talk about, which is quite nice because it's a one is a service accommodation, and now we're in August, so it's about to blow records because of the staycation stuff. So the portfolio is kind of chilling. I'm not really doing much. Bit of maintenance, a bit of chatting, but there's really nothing there. I've then recently, because that's kind of 200 miles away from home, I'm doing
Are you managing that, or are you
self-managing? Honestly, there's just
because it's in buy-to-let, so like
and
they're newly refurbed, or assuming not much issues.
New boilers, new white.
Cool.
If something goes wrong, like it's more on them to fix it.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are long-term tenants, so they're quite homely about it. They want to change it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of happening in the background, and then quite actively I'm flipping or developing, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And that's closer to home, which it's been less stressful, somewhat less stressful, but I am going on the market actually today. Got the pictures back today and the staged pictures, the digital stage pictures.
How much are you looking at making?
Well,
back end?
So in my spreadsheet, I had 240k end value, right?
Yeah.
Agents come in, they said 240, 250, 270, 280.
Okay.
Now we both know the market is absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And it's quite a rare property. Basically, it's one of one. The neighbours are never going to sell because they're living there. And it's like an old, you get them around here, you go up a long lane, there's the farmers' cottages, and then there's like a big manor house.
Okay.
It's them. And it's in a really nice conservation listed, kind of heavily listed area. So it's a really unique property. It's 200 years old, it's got a grapevine there that was planted 200 years. Like it's very sort of like charismatic.
Yeah.
And so because of that, and because of the fact that there's no stock on the market right now, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're in a crazy market, I have decided, against maybe my better judgment, but we'll see, to list it at 270. Now we've already got 2 viewings off market because the agent has some people.
Okay.
So let's see, because if it sells for 240, and it sells within the next 3 months, I'll make £44,000 profit.
Not bad.
If it sells for 270, you can just add 30k to that, and that's sort of, it's a lot of money.
Start to finish, what's been the time frame?
From getting keys, starting a refurb, just under 3 months.
So clickbait, 3 months, 70k.
70k.
Which is that easy.
Yeah, I wish. You know what? The funny thing is, it should have been shorter. It should have been a month and a half. But
really? So
material prices, builders thinking they're God's gift to the earth, which happens all the time. But prices, availability of builders. It was an auction purchase, so I had 28 days. I had a key undertaking, so I had less to get builders, new area.
Okay. And
people dropping out and lots of things. For once, the house really didn't bring up much unexpectedness. It was so straightforward.
I'm quite surprised because where it is and like the type of style, you'd think once you start ripping things, flipping out, you're gonna
find. But honestly, it's probably the most structurally sound house I've ever purchased, and it's the oldest.
People do say that older houses are more structurally.
They don't make them like that anymore, right?
They don't make them like that anymore.
They really don't. Like it's such a lovely old cottage, and it's gonna make a decent amount of money. However, I haven't really enjoyed the managing trade. So I've been the project manager, individual trade by trade.
Yes,
I just could not get a master builder. Time frame, price, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And I have managed trades before, so I can do it. I don't enjoy it. I hated it, Alfred. I literally hated it. Like, so stressful.
Mate, I don't know how you do it. You already know how I run things, so yeah.
I know. And I was hands-on at some point because people dropped out, and I was like, this is costing me X amount a week with my investor.
Yeah.
If I need to miscoat it, I will.
Yeah.
So I really didn't enjoy that part. So I'm in a position where I'm thinking, actually, I need to change what I'm doing. So basically, no more refurbs. Unless...
Really?
Unless...
This is first?
This is exclusive. Not exclusive, right? Unless there is a proper project manager, not a deal sourcer who thinks they're project managers, but
shots.
Proper shots. But an actual, an actual PM for a building site, real PM. Even though there's obviously still stress with that, it's different. Or I JV. And I know, again, this is a world first again because I don't JV.
Yes.
But I will JV on a new build with an experienced developer. I've got some guys locally I'm thinking about, we're in talks about it.
Yeah.
That's when I'll do refurbs. I'm looking more at trading now. So getting something, getting planning, back in auction. Getting something, splitting up, back in auction. And I know a few people have done this and who are doing it very, very successfully.
Yeah, I guess there's less headache. Obviously, the headache is getting the planning. Once you got the planning, it's yours to kind of. But again, people can come and still think, oh, there's not much value if we want to pay this much. So you've got developers that are going to try and obviously make their profit.
Of course.
So they're going to come with their price. But I've seen they're trading properties on. I've seen some clever things.
I've seen some mad things.
Like trading, like clever, like on paper, documentation stuff. Obviously, high risk game, but the rewards, some of them are insane. Like you've not laid a single brick and you've made £1 million profit. Like
this is real life.
And it's like, yeah.
I know someone's actually done that. Greenbelt Development, they actually made £1 million in planning uplift alone. Then they made 3 or 4 when they built it, but £1 million that offers in planning.
And like the most, I guess prior to the planning, probably the least of yes, he's right, was least risk-free like strategy. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can do, I think.
And it's paper. I like legal issues, right? I love reading legal packs. So for me, my strength is not dealing with Bob the Builder and trying not to rip his eyes out. It's dealing with my solicitor and dealing with it's that kind of level of like value add that I really actually enjoy. And it's taken me 16 refurbs to realize that, but I've done that piece now. I'm kind of over it. Like I love interior design.
Yeah.
But you get really
I'm even
tired
getting
and
bored
sick
of like my HMOs and designs and like I'm just like, can we get on now? Can we
just build it? Can we get the asset and we'll carry on? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in a bit of a transition where I do want to do a new build, probably as a JV, take the stress off. If I get an incredible deal, will I refurb it? Maybe. But I'm looking more keenly at trading and actual FX trading. So I used to do it before property. Again, I haven't really spoken about this.
Mate, we're getting a lot out of this.
We're getting so much, man. I'm in this philosophical place right now. And so I'm relearning, and it's what I was doing before I came here, I'm relearning it, I'm practicing again and getting back into it. And some of this flip profit will go into actually setting up and doing that. And you know why I like it? There's no people. No human. There's me and the screen. The market is a person and people, but there's no one that can... I don't have to control anyone, I don't have to manage it. It's me and the screen.
Yeah.
And I love that, dude. I love that. So I'm in this place where it's, when this gets published, who knows what I'll be doing. But we're transitioning right now.
No, that's good. I think myself, I'm in a bit, I think if you can get to a certain stage and you feel like, what could you do? What should you do? Mm-hmm. Is it still worth my time? I think the biggest value is time. So I'm like, okay, I could spend another 12 months doing exactly what I'm doing. Great, I'll build more asset base, I'll build more income. But I'm starting to value, okay, that 12 months, what could I have done with that 12 months? And does that other thing potentially, in essence, make me more money? I'm after building wealth. So I need to try and do the thing that makes the most wealth, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So there's opportunities there, I think, as well. As you get to a certain stage, these opportunities start to fall in your lap. So like there's this opportunity to build apartments, like large scale 50 plus apartments. And I'm like, I could spend 2 years, 3 years making that come to fruition. Or do I just find something else, which I'm quite passionate about? I won't say passionate, I'm interested in, which is business buying. So again, I've kind of said on a few things about going into buying businesses, not like businesses that are failing and all that stuff. I'm talking about businesses that are actually performing quite well in terms of revenue. And the actual reason why it's going on for sale is because the owner is looking at retiring, hasn't got someone to pass it down to, but wants someone who's capable of leading the business in a new direction potentially or whatever, or growing the business even more, and kind of passing that legacy on to someone else to kind of go on with. So that's kind of a space I'm actually quite serious in. I've got a mentor and I'm looking to kind of do that moving forward. So, but there's this glossy thing of these large scale apartments. Do I get involved or do I even not do it now? Go into the business buying bit for a while. The money actually generated from the sales of these businesses, then reinvest that into like larger projects, maybe, or you can just buy income producing assets on day one. I buy a block of flats, because I've got the money in the business. I can just inject that capital into this. Even as a tax write off, and there's ways to structure it. So there's the opportunity. I'm getting exposed to a lot more things. I'm like, okay, what could I do differently? Do I want to utilize my time? And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do HMOs, but I'm not one that's going to create a massive portfolio of HMOs. I've always said like I want to keep it to a minimum. So I'm still doing. I've got a project we're hoping to start end of this month, beginning of September. But it's just moving forward. do I want to keep at the pace I'm going? I'm like pretty much we've had a project every month.
You're on fire, yeah.
But I'm now just thinking like maybe to kind of slow it down a bit. I don't need to do as many as I was. So I've got a team there established. So if the deal does come to, I think if deals come to me where my agents call me, look, Alfred, we've got an opportunity for you here. Numbers work. I can go fund it, get a team on board. They deliver it on it, not as involved, and still focus on the business buying stuff as a priority, and kind of switch focus like 70 business buying, 30% property. And then maybe it flips around later on, who knows? Or maybe I hate the business buying really that much and I come back to my property, who knows? But I'm willing to take that risk because I see the opportunity in going to that space. So it's a bit different, not property related. I'll probably also share something on my YouTube channel just to kind of show people what the possibility is as well in that space. Because for me, that's where the real money is at. Property is a great strategy for a foundation, like to kind of build asset base, income. It's part of the Maslow hierarchy of things. So it's a need, not a want. So it's great, but in terms of, I always say if you compare, just keep the numbers very simple, £1 million property portfolio, if you had to sell that, you probably have 200, 250k equity in that, so that's what will be returned to you. Whereas if you sold a business for £1 million, if you're the 100% share owner, you're getting £1 million into your bank. Obviously you got tax as well, but same you would with your property as well. So I'm like, the strategy I'm doing take the same time, because I'm not going to buy, I'm not doing a startup, I'm not buying something that's failing, I'm buying something that's already profitable day one. All I'm going to do is try and add more value to it. Whether it's me bringing on board someone as a shareholder and giving some shares, say you run this business, grow it. Obviously the upside for you is, not you obviously still get a salary, but your upside is if you grow it, if it's worth £1 million a day, it grows to 3 million, 5 million, whatever it is, you have 25% of that. So it's a massive upside. So you're motivated to kind of make the business work. So it's an interesting space. I've been looking at it for like a year while I was kind of doing property stuff. But it's kind of where I would aspire to kind of go in the next 12 months, hopefully. Even maybe end of the year, I might say, Alfred's bought business.
Buy a pub that has really good food and we'll all come there. We'll move the mixed grill to there.
Nah.
But you know what, it's interesting. I've been looking at business buying recently as well, more so because I really like taking something that isn't, not failing, but needs value. And there's a lot of old school businesses, right? That don't use social media, don't have any sort of branding. They just, and you think, nah, like, even just if we spent 2 weeks with you, we'd increase your sales factually. I'm not gonna, I know I can. I just like, I suppose I like creating, I don't like running. I like coming in, or like creating a brand, but then when it's running it, I'm like, oh. So I come in, fix something, sell it, whatever it is, get rid of it, and carry on. So maybe there's a consultancy piece there with social media. I don't know, but I just like that,
maybe.
You know, help create
you
and leave.
You are the market guy, market branding.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities, right? I got my skincare business I'm thinking about as well.
Is that actually a serious thing?
Serious
I
thing,
was
man.
a joke. I was a joke. I'm like, okay.
Serious. So I've got like, and I want to open a car garage, like, you know, fix cars as well, especially with the electric cars coming and whatnot. So I have so many opportunities, and because the portfolio is more than financially free for me, including rent, mortgage, everything, whatever, I have the freedom to kind of say, what should I do? Obviously, I've worked my arse off for 2 years, but it's great that we're in this position, right? And people can hear us and say what you can get to in a year and a half, 2 years, 2 years. So these opportunities are great, and I suppose they're good problems to have, right? It's like what business should we launch now?
If you've hit your goal of I wanted to get this income level to allow. For me, my goal is always to kind of get to a certain income level to allow me to then tackle bigger things, take more risk even. I think no risk, no reward. If you go big with it, the risk is usually higher. Obviously, it's calculated risk if you're educated and stuff, being informed. So that was my kind of going in point using property. For me, people think I'm doing amazing and I'm doing these big things, but for me, like humbly speaking, like this is something as a foundation, as a start for me to kind of go into the big things. I want to have a business that's worth 100 million, whatever, like really go big with it. So it's like, for me, I love property. Not gonna not do property, but I just want to shift my time, effort.
Yeah. We're in the same boat. I like it. It's interesting. It's interesting when you
I didn't know this is.
I didn't know you either. This is like full fresh video.
Literally. No, that's good. That's good. I think, guys. Obviously, this is like a quick conversation chat with Tej, just see where he's up to, and obviously learn quite a bit. But we know we're going to bring Tej back and do some more videos and share some more value as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you felt it was a good video, let us know your thoughts. If you've got any questions as well, drop a comment below. That would be much appreciated. But Tej, appreciate you coming on. It's a good one.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you again shortly. Take care.